Hello guys and welcome to another video. It is David here to have him back for another video. And in this video I'm going to be basically talking about the whole Formula 1 situation that's going on right now. Now, if you guys don't know, apparently earlier I found out today that Daniel Ricciardo is going to be leaving the Red Bull team and joining the Renault factory team next year for 2019. Now apparently he signed a 2-year deal with Renault, which means when it comes to 2021 and the whole new rules and regulations where your team can make their own new engine. So McLaren's probably going to make their own new engine. Red Bull can probably make their own engine, and a lot of these companies that make cars can like come into Formula 1 and make their own engine and see if it's competitive, competitive or not. That's how I was trying to figure out the word. But Daniel Ricciardo is one of the best Formula 1 drivers on the track right now. I mean, if you guys have seen his past races, if you guys just seen Hungary, that man is a dive bomb king. When I mean a dive bomb king, I mean a dive bomb king. That man can be like 30 miles behind and still make it to the corner and still beat you in the corner. That's how good Daniel Ricciardo is. But also, guys, I want to tell you something. With this whole Daniel Ricciardo situation, that leaves a spot open for the Red Bull seat. Now, in my opinion, I think Sainz would be perfect for Red Bull, but apparently after I watched the YouTuber video, his name is Arva. I watched his YouTube video and I just remember that I saw in this video that he did talk about that Sainz and Verstappen have a toxic relationship and that wouldn't be very good. So I do think that Red Bull is going to go young and have a double young pairing for the future in the case of Max Verstappen and Pierre Gasly. But that leads also another person out of work right now. That will leave a Toro Rosso seat open, and that would leave a no, that just leaves a Toro Rosso seat. What am I saying? That leaves a driver out and the seat open. So the Toro Rosso seat would probably go to someone like, I see someone like Antonio Giovinazzi joining the Red Bull Toro Rosso. Either that or I don't see Lando, even though Arava did say this in this video, I don't see Lando Norris joining the Red Bull Toro Rosso team because I feel like he wants to stay in like F2 for a couple more years and really gain the experience in F2, and then probably in 2020 he'll be ready to move on up, and by then Fernando Alonso would have probably already have left Formula 1, so there would be a seat open in McLaren. So I think that's what Lando Norris is going to do. But if I could see someone joining the Toro Rosso Honda for next season, as Red Bull is going to Honda also, I can't really put my finger to it, but I would probably say Antonio Giovinazzi, considering that guy has no drive. Unless Charles Leclerc does go to Sauber. I mean, Charles Leclerc goes to Sauber, yeah. Charles Leclerc goes to Ferrari. Then Antonio Giovinazzi can go to Sauber because that's technically a Ferrari third team because Haas is their second team. So that would be good for Giovinazzi, and then that would still leave another person open for the Red Bull Toro Rosso team. And considering what's going on with Williams right now, I can probably see Robert Kubica or Sergei Sorokin going to that team because I feel like their contract with Lance Stroll is his dad pays that team a lot, so I feel like Lance Stroll is not going to leave Williams for the foreseeable future. But that means there's one odd person out of this whole situation that I haven't even mentioned yet, and that is Carlos Sainz. Now, the Spanish driver is the current driver right now for Renault, but he's only on loan from Toro Rosso. Well, from the Red Bull team, Red Bull, Toro Rosso, Red Bull in general. Now, I do think Carlos Sainz will in fact not get the Red Bull seat and not want to go back to Honda, Toro Rosso, because I feel like he wants to go to a team that can like give him better points or give him a big win, and he would have probably loved to stay in Renault, but unfortunately they signed a big driver and now he's going to be the odd person out. So I see only one realistic option that I would love Carlos Sainz to be at, and it's to be basically replacing the person that can't seem to challenge Fernando Alonso at McLaren. And I would love to see Carlos Sainz in a McLaren because Carlos Sainz's hero is Fernando Alonso because they're both Spanish. Now, Carlos Sainz will definitely want to be with the person that's like more mature than him that can give him like his help, and to have a countryman on the team is just like incredible for him. So, and I'm pretty sure my driver Fernando Alonso would enjoy having a countryman and they would probably get along really well. They already do get along considering they're probably best friends on the grid besides him and Stoffel Van Dorn right now. And that possibly could persuade Fernando Alonso to stay in the McLaren for 2019 and beyond because they need a driver that can lead them into the big, back to glory. And Fernando is that driver, and he's currently doing it right now because Fernando Alonso is the only one that's actually scoring points for the McLaren team because Stoffel Van Dorn can't seem to get a good break at all, and he just can't seem to beat Fernando in any qualifying. And considering the next two tracks for McLaren, I'm just gonna go off topic for a quick minute. Considering the next two tracks are Belgium and Spa and Monza, don't expect McLaren to be doing good unless that Renault engine actually just turns up for both of those races. But especially Monza, don't be looking for the McLarens to do any good. I feel like they're both going to get knocked out in Q1, both Belgium and Italy, but we'll see what happens there. I'm going to just call it right now. Both McLarens are not going to make it out of Q1 in Monza and Spa. But back to the topic, Fernando Alonso and Carlos Sainz's teammates would be a perfect pairing because both of them are very good drivers. They both are good at defending. And to be honest, I feel like they out of all the drivers that respect each other on the grid, I feel like Fernando Alonso and Carlos Sainz are the ones that respect them the most. Because I'm pretty sure Fernando has a lot of respect for Carlos Sainz, and obviously Carlos Sainz has a lot of respect for Fernando Alonso considering they're countrymen. But it's not just that. Carlos Sainz knows that Fernando Alonso is probably the best driver on this grid, even though he hasn't won a world championship in like 5 years. And then Fernando Alonso can see the potential in Carlos Sainz and see that Carlos Sainz has the potential to become the next best Spanish Formula 1 driver after he finishes up or he leaves sport this year. Now, in my honest opinion, I do see Fernando Alonso wanting a better challenge, and I feel like Stoffel Van Dorn is not good enough for that McLaren seat because he's not performing at all right now, and I don't see him staying at McLaren. And this is basically simple due to the fact that in the last 17 races, Fernando Alonso has beaten Stoffel Van Dorn in qualifying, and since the beginning of the season, Fernando Alonso's beat Stoffel Van Dorn in every qualifying. He's the only driver on the field to beat his teammate in every qualifying session so far. And to see that Stoffel Van Dorn is not really he scores points now and again, but that's mostly due to retirement, so I can't say anything. Fernando does that too, but Stoffel Van Dorn doesn't seem to be doing good at any of the tracks, and even with the new Renault engine, the McLaren, Fernando Alonso is really carrying that car up to greater heights, even though both of them should really be doing it, trying to get the team better. But as currently, it's only Fernando doing this right now, so I can see Fernando just be like, alright, Stoffel, or McLaren just be like, alright, we need a new change of scenery. Stoffel, I'm sorry, but you need to leave. And then Stoffel Van Dorn could go to the Toro Rosso Honda or even the Sauber and stay in the sport, and then Carlos Sainz can come to the McLaren team and join Fernando Alonso and form an all-Spanish pairing. That's probably the first all-Spanish pairing that's been on the grid since... I can't even tell. The last Spanish driver besides Carlos Sainz to be on the grid with Fernando Alonso was Jaime Alguersuari, and he didn't really turn out. I don't know what he's doing right now. But, in all honest opinion, this is really a crazy window transfer thing with the whole Formula 1 changes, and I do expect more news to be coming out tonight. and I will probably make a video on it tomorrow, considering there's no Formula 1 this weekend. But there is NASCAR this weekend, so I will be making a NASCAR video, and there is a Atlanta United game this weekend, so that will be coming out, guys. But yeah, Fernando Alonso should have a good teammate that's capable of challenging him. And if you've seen some of the races where Fernando and Carlos Sainz are next to each other, they race each other good. They race each other with respect, and Carlos Sainz can actually challenge Fernando Alonso in the McLaren car, I do believe, because Carlos Sainz is that capable of a driver. And McLaren would love to make their own engines by 2021, so I could see Carlos Sainz, if he does join McLaren, I could see Carlos Sainz doing a 2-year deal like Daniel Ricciardo did. And by the time that deal ends by 2021, Fernando Alonso would most definitely be gone from Formula 1. But anyway, guys, I will see you guys later with another video coming out tomorrow. Anyway, guys, peace.